because you got to talk to him like a dog sometimes. Unfortunately,
you have to talk to him what he would consider abrasive, because that's how he comes across. I mean, you have to be forward with Pena. I'm the same way.
Yeah, no, Pena and me get along. As long as you talk to Pena like a man, he's cool with that because he's got a chick that controls him, so he knows about control. I'm not talking shit. I'm just talking the truth. There's a difference, and that hurts a lot. That's why I never got mad about what Kenny said about me, because none of it was real. That's why I said it would have been one thing of like Jacob Waters or Poop Ninja or Schmidt would have did a show talking about shit that I was not. I would have been upset because I would have looked at the guy saying it like, man, I respect these guys. I always knew Jake was a loose cannon. I just didn't realize the disease gets worse to where he will get along best with strangers or like in a chat atmosphere where you only see his name. Just like when Jason Marshall said, I've never seen that side of him. I said, Jason, he could say that to you just as, like when Jason Marshall goes, he wanted me to come on his show, talk about the fake counts. I go, it's nothing to talk about. It's been the same. He goes, it was kind of odd somebody made a fake count of me. No, it's not. Doyle knows you. And that's the main guy. One of the first, if you were to say make a top 10 list of fake accounts Doyle would make of Kenny's old calls, I'm probably not even number one. I'm going to get Jason Marshall number 4. Okay? We know how fucking Doyle goes. I go, I don't need to come on your show and tell you that, Jason. There's nothing to tell, bro. Go watch the old shows. It's fucking, you're not going to figure it out. But if they were using your name, more than likely it was this audience. So think of the audience that was watching you. And one of those
guys trusted him yet. But at the same time, they were like, all right, Sir Bep hasn't said anything stupid to get blocked.
I also made mistakes too along the way, Jake. The way I treated your behavior. Like in the beginning, I should have always kept my beginning philosophy. When he first started coming around, I said, I don't do a cry channel. I'll do that over on yours. You start crying, I just kick you out no matter what, Claymore. I don't know why I went away from that, but the days of me being fucking nice to that kid, the strangers that don't know me might call me a piece of shit, but I don't give a fuck. My only response is go watch the tape.
Anybody that knows what's going on with you guys behind the scenes, you've done nothing but support him over time.
Right. Even through the bad times. And that, Jake, let me tell you how that was a trick. And I'm going to tell people about the 3 stages thing too. And that's going to be the funny thing. So, Jake, here's a little trick. I used to hype you up like when I said, we did this one video and I go, Jake, I want you to say that you're 3 levels ahead of everybody. Because I just got done telling people Jake is smarter than people know. So I wanted people, and this is in the beginning. So I remember I was telling people that, this is like 4 chats of like, this guy Jake's smart. You guys fucking get the wrong idea. He's a couple steps ahead of everybody. I go, Jake, some point in your promo, make sure you say you're 3 like levels ahead. He forgot the word level, and he said I'm 3 stages ahead. Everybody loved that line. Guess what, Jake? They loved it because I knew they would. I knew what they wanted. All right? I knew what would be funny. Did you say that line yourself, Jake? Or did I tell it to you before we went in there? You know what I mean? That was always my shit. The word dance was the one you used. But I used to overhype the people you would bring to me. You didn't bring me shit. I brought myself to Bolins. You know, I didn't even know who the fuck you were. I met you that first time when Schmidt, a person who you disrespected at a level where he should piss in your picture or piss in your mouth and close your mouth. You fucking used to disrespect that guy. One of the few guys like me that could look past the fucking tornado of sickness. Try to give you chances. You don't learn from shit. You said, I'm taking a break. You didn't take a break. You made up more stupid lies, said that just back to the repeat. Sent out 50 links. I went on the show yesterday. You could ask Hawaiian Puncho, and you heard me too. What's funny was right on Jake's show, I go, I actually got to tell Lemmy something. And Jake goes, she's not coming on the show. And I go, I didn't even talk to Lemmy. I go, I just have a feeling she might pop up or whatever. I just said that to sound like whatever. And then her boyfriend did show up, and I said, dumb luck. But that was when Jake said that. What I wanted to tell her was, and Jake didn't even give me an opportunity to say what I was trying to say. He just kept interrupting things. I go, hey, I'm suspended. I'm not doing that show this week. He goes, oh, write the show for me and I'll do it on my channel. No, Jake, you don't deserve that shit. You know how long it takes for me to write those shows? I got to watch fucking video. You think I remember those trivia questions? No, I put time in that shit. Just like I do the Walking Dead thing. You know what I mean? You're not ready to put time in this as the number one. You're on a laptop. Remember when Frank offered to get you a computer? He did not send it to you as mean guy. He said it sent you because you weren't ready to have a computer. You like to walk around. You don't really, you're just playing in the plain, simple, small moves. And the thing is, you know how to be nice to a stranger. You knew how to be nice to little Emmy, and eventually you started saying shit to her you would have never said in the beginning. You know what I mean? And you can't ever listen to helpful criticism. What kind of sick bastard? And I was that sick bastard. And that could show anybody. If people want to know what kind of guy I am, I'm the guy that was able to wrangle Bolin and Jake, keep my mental patience together. To where it wasn't like they kissed. I wasn't like Hazelwood loved. Far from. You know what I mean? Ivan Schmidt was Hazelwood loved. He just lives 5 minutes from him. That's why I never expected Schmidt to 80s when that shit started. I knew he'd always be back eventually. But I expected him to just not get Kenny mad, blah, blah, blah. Schmidt did a good enough job of doing it like a little child. And he knows that, and he cried on my show like a child. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's what
I know, Pesci. You had to do that in front of me. I'm sitting here like, oh,
people
God.
know when I open my mouth, it's the truth, and people start crying like Bolin and fucking Jake and so and so.
Well, and that's something I've always respected you for, Pesci. I think we operate on the same way with that. If I'm gonna come on and do a rant about somebody, my door's open for you to come in, and anybody else, even people I disagree with now. Ariel, when we disagreed, my door was open. I sent her a link. I said, if you want to come on and talk about what I'm addressing, and the same thing happened when I was on with you and Schmidt. You were like, no. Let's really address this. Hold on a minute. And yeah, no, Schmidt got serious that time. That's the first time I've ever seen Schmidt get serious like that.